Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video tutorial, we shall be looking into what SAML is and how does SAML work. Before we dive deep into the details of SAML, let us quickly take an example. Let us take an example in which we have a user who has recently joined a company and his company has basically assigned him a work email and has given him access to a dashboard, and in that dashboard there are all the company apps that the user can use. Now let us suppose that all these apps are third-party apps. Let's say like they are some project management apps or payroll apps or HR, etc. Right? So being a third-party app, obviously all these apps will require some kind of authentication for the user to get into these apps. So to get access to these apps, the user will basically have to first uh, visit his dashboard, and from there he can open all these apps, right? Now, being third-party app, the user will have to authenticate himself some way or the other to get into all these apps, right? But here is the magic. What he sees is that the user is actually, when the user visits his dashboard, he actually does not need to log in into these third-party apps. The user actually is redirected to a company login page where he will have to log in himself using his work email and a password that has been set by the company's IT team. And what he sees is that after the login is successful, and what he sees is that after the login is successful, he is automatically signed in into all these apps without any third party related authentication. But the question here is, how did it happen? Why didn't different like, because there are separate apps, separate third party apps. Let us suppose there are 10 apps. So isn't it logical that the user must be logging into 10 different apps by using 10 different usernames and passwords? How did it happen that only using just one work email and logging into just once into the entire system, the user is now able to access all these apps without logging into any of these third-party apps individually? How did it happen? So, the magic here that we just saw was nothing but SAML. The company is using an SAML based authentication mechanism using which the user has to just log in once, and he will be able to access any of the company apps that the company has given access to. So what is basically SML all about? SAML is basically all about three components. SAML is all about three components. The first component is a user. The second component is what we call is an identity provider. And the third component that we call is a service provider. Now, let us understand how these three make up what SAML is. So the user here in our above example, the user was actually, you can say it was the new joining, or you can say it was the web browser, right? The identity provider. Okay, let's come to this a bit later. Let us first talk about this service provider. So the service provider was basically a third party app that the company gave access to. The user would just have to visit his dashboard, and over there he would see all the company apps that the company has given access to all his employees, basically. Now let us come to the identity provider. The identity provider is the one who is basically you can say a system that is actually verifying the identities of users, or you can also say that it is the one that is actually validating the users or authenticating the users. Like in our above example, the new joinee was actually taken to the company's login page, right? So that was actually the identity provider. The user will just log in, just enter his the company email and the password set by the IT administrator, right? It is just one single pair of user credentials that the user has, his email ID and password. And through this identity provider, the user will be able to authenticate itself, and then the service provider will be able to communicate with the identity provider and get all the details that it actually wants from basically the identity provider. So basically in SAML, what happens is all these parties are actually communicating with each other. Also, we can also say that the communication is actually between the identity provider and the service provider through a client. And what is that client? Here you can say the client is either a user, or we shall also see that the client can also be a web browser. So here we can say that the user and web browser are actually interchangeable, right? If we talk about a practical example of SAML, ever got a chance to interact with Microsoft Azure AD, then apps definitely you have already interacted with with the process of SAML. Azure AD is basically a prime example of how SAML works. Let us now understand how do companies use Microsoft Azure AD in order to authenticate their employees or people or users into several company apps. So basically there is a word for this authentication process, and it is single sign-on, that is SSO. There is one login that the company will make, or the user will make through the company portal, and just through that one login The user will be able to access any third-party app that the company has given access to. Now, this third-party app will actually send an authentication request to the identity provider, that is the Azure AD. The identity provider will then open a login page that will basically be specific to the company. The user will then enter the credentials given by his company, that is its work email and password. Once the login is successful, the identity provider will issue SAML tokens and send a response back to the browser. You see over here that the identity provider did not directly send the tokens to the service provider. Rather, it will first send to the web browser, and then the web browser will redirect these tokens to the service provider. Now what will happen is this service provider will actually validate these access tokens. Sorry, valid these the service provider will actually validate the SAML tokens and the SAML response sent by the Azure AD. And if these SAML tokens are valid, the user will basically be sent to the application page, which means that now the user has successfully logged in into the third party app, and using just one login system, the user will now be able to access the third party app that the company has given access to. The magic in throughout this process here is that once the user has logged in into the Azure AD portal, because the user has to log in only once. Now, any kind of a third party app that will act as a service provider, the user will basically be able to access any of these. One thing that we need to highlight here is that if you already have some knowledge of about open authentication, that is OAuth, uh, then you might feel that OAuth is a bit similar. OAuth and SAML are a bit similar to each other, but this is not the case. SAML is basically user specific, whereas OAuth is actually client specific, or you can say application specific. If you have a small amount of experience of Azure AD, let me tell you that in Azure AD, the IT administrators, if we have a look at real scenarios, in a company there is an IT team, and that IT team will basically be adding all its employees, all you can say users, all its employees to basically an Azure Active Directory if they are using Microsoft Office. Then they must be using Azure Active Directory for managing their employees. So IT people basically they will be adding all their employees to Azure Active Directories, and only those people who have actually been added to these directories, only they will be able to access the apps that the company has given access to. If it is not the case, then the user won't be able to access. Whereas in OAuth, this any user who has, let us say that if we talk about Google OAuth or Facebook OAuth, so any user who has a Google account or a Facebook account, uh, they will be able to access the third party app using Google authentication. So there is no restriction on what user is basically accessing the application. But in SAML, there are user restrictions. So this is for today, guys. Let me know what you think about this video tutorial in the comment section below.